Tuesday evening, catching up on a little YouTube, doing a little sewing, hand sewing. This is in front of my roaring fake fireplace. And look up here. Look up here. Hi, Toby. He's being a good boy. When Brian got home with Spencer, they were going to do some finger painting, and he asked me if I wanted to watch Baby while he went out on the patio. It was raining. So they were sat at the patio under the awning, and he taped a piece of paper down to the glass patio table, and Spence was finger painting out there, and I was taking care of minding the little guy inside. We were having a good time. He was reading, Are You My... Yeah, it's a mother book. It's called... What is it called? Something Monkey. Jungle Monkey. Monkey Jungle? I don't know. Nicely illustrated. A book from Scott and Marley. It's this little monkey who lost sight of his mom. And I read the little monkey as if he's a little British monkey. And his butterfly is trying to help him find his mom. And he's trying to, little by little, describe what his mom looks like. And the butterfly goes, oh, I know her. I know where they are. I know where she is, And then you open the next page, you go, no, that's not her. That's an elephant. My mom's not that big. And my mom, and slowly but slowly, turn the pages, and all of a sudden, there's a bigger monkey. And he goes, that's my dad. And the daddy says, let me take you to your mom. So the last page there, all the three monkeys are together, daddy, monkey, and mom. Yeah. It's a nice book. A baby likes it. There's another one that you push these buttons, like on the page with the doggy. You push the furry button on his belly, and it goes, woof, woof. And it has different animals. It has a penguin. So it goes, chicka, chicka, chicka. A kitty cat, an elephant, a lion cub. Like a lion cub. And, was that it? I don't know. But anyway, he likes the lion cub page. But some of those buttons are kind of hard to push, and he gets frustrated. And we read Rings on Fingers, Rings on Thumb. I got that for him. I love that book. Scott has that for their kids. And one little monkey, one little thumb. Dum-diddy-dum-diddy-dum-dum-dum. Rings on fingers, rings on thumbs. Rum-diddy-dum-diddy-dum-dum-dum. It's kind of like a rhythm to it while you read it. Millions of monkeys, millions of drums. Rum-diddy-dum-diddy-dum-dum-dum. And he just loves that book. And I sing a lot to him, and I tell him if he's trying to talk and he can't seem to make anyone understand what he's saying to sing. I mentioned that yesterday. And he does. He'll, I'm so proud of that kid. And then for supper, he had like beans, baked beans with cheese, and they stuck peas in there, whole peas. And a lot of cheese on it. And baby's sitting there grabbing handfuls of that goop and cheese, and he's just loving it. Absolutely loving it. And there was a mess, of course. Brian was there, but I don't know what he was doing. Was he still out? No, he wasn't outside. He was inside doing something. Anyway, he went over to the couch, and I think he was looking on his phone doing something. And baby crawled over to this little red car that you can push him around in. So I pushed him around for a little bit, and Spencer wanted to push him in the car. And Brian had to remind him that he's a baby. He has to go slow and be very careful because he's a baby. So Spencer was doing a real good job, going slowly and going around the corners of the kitchen place, the island in the kitchen. And then he decided to go in the room where Daddy was. And there was a bookcase there. And I'm picking up all the crap off the floor around the high chair. And I see him going over there, but I figure he's gonna stop once he gets to the carpeted area and back up or something. He got stuck kind of and started pulling, and he yanked it, and Brian's on his phone, and it hit the bookcase, and the baby hit his head somehow. And he started screaming and crying. Brian didn't know what happened. I kind of saw him heading over that way. Spencer didn't know what to do, but he did say what happened, and we thanked him for telling the truth, because that way we know what to do. And Spencer decided to join Dad on the couch and watch Bluey or something. And I was holding the baby and rubbing his head and holding him and hugging him and humming to him. And I hummed some songs that we used to sing in youth group in church. And the one that we used to sing, the long, long road to freedom, a marching. When you walk, something with purpose, with the wind on your wings. The song you sing, the time flies by. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But I don't think it's a religious song. I think it's an anti-war song. But that's okay. And I was rocking and rubbing his shoulder and hugging him, and he stopped crying. Poor little guy. And if he'd sit and think about it again, then he started crying. I was holding him and rocking him and talking to him. And I wanted to get up and go in the enclosure, so we had books and other things to take his mind off. But to step over this 2.5 foot, or almost 3 foot gate, I had to put him down. And he cried and cried. I said, I'm going to step over the gate, but I can't do it holding you. So I put him down. I got in the enclosure, and I picked him up, and immediately I picked up 2 or 3 things that I know he likes a lot, certain books or certain toys, and I got him to stop crying. Then Ashley got home, and we were watching Bluey, and I said to Spencer, I'll watch the rest of this Bluey, and then I gotta go back home. Okay. I saw this one before. I said, well, okay, whatever. But he wanted to watch it anyway. So I got up, and he started being interested in what Brian had on his phone. And Spencer got hold of my phone. Somehow, there's an emergency way you can open your phone and take pictures or emergency phone calls without using the way that you get into your phone. That little stinker. He knows how to do that. Thank God he didn't call the police or something. 911 or something. He's taking pictures of me. There's some way you can take 4 pictures at a time and put different music to them and all kinds of stuff. Well, just by one touch. And he was doing that. I had to erase a whole lot before doing this, because my phone's almost totally full. Anyway, finally got my phone back. I came home to a kitty who was starving and lonely, and some stuff I was working on sewing-wise. Yesterday I made half a batch of chocolate chip cookies without the chocolate chips. It basically is butter, sugar, brown sugar, an egg, flour, a little bit of baking soda and salt. And you mix that all together, and then you put your chocolate chips in. But the dough is always much better. Yeah, I know it's a raw egg. But how many people out there actually eat warm, raw eggs for breakfast? Blech. I have just a little tiny bit of it left, which I'll inhale before I go to bed. Scott messaged me, says, I'm feeling homesick. Can we video talk? And I said, yeah, sure, anytime. But I never heard back. Apparently, he called Brian, and Brian, he didn't say now. He just says sometime. He's at home sick with his 3 children who are also sick, and I don't want to bother them if they just take a nap or settle down or whatever. So I was waiting to hear from him, but I didn't. Maybe I'll hear from him tomorrow. I don't know. The little guy, he understands what you say. He can't necessarily reciprocate, but he knows what you're saying. Usually when you say, Sebastian, where's the clock? He'll look over at the wall where the clock is. This time, I said, Spencer, I do that all the time. I'll say, Sebastian, where's the clock? And he goes, with his hand, he's pointing. And I thought, hey, that's cool. He's gone from looking to pointing. That's pretty cool. It was raining all day. I started some seeds for my garden there in the windowsill. About 10 days to 2 weeks, they'll germinate. Now, in other words, the seeds, if I water it and keep it in the sunlight, the seeds will start to sprout, and then by then, hopefully the ground will be a little bit warmer, that I can plant them. And once I get those planted, and they have something showing above the ground, Spencer and I will go out and he'll sow the rest of the seeds in the proper places where I'm going to have tomatoes, red bell pepper, green beans, tomatoes, red pepper, green beans, muskmelon, which is like cantaloupe, and zinnia flowers. And once it gets to the sprouty type stage, I'll have Spencer plant the rest of the seeds that I have not planted in the proper places so that he feels that he's really has done something. Or maybe I'll have him plant those before I plant the sprouted ones, so it'll be a couple days and he'll see like instant results. It's kind of cheating, but he's just 3. You know, when you say just a minute, it takes forever and ever and ever and ever, it seems. That's why a kid that's 2 years old, they give him 2 minutes timeout, which seems like forever. Me, 2 minutes timeout, just getting up from the chair. I was thinking of some really, really funny stuff today, and I wrote it down. I don't know if I'll go tomorrow. Tomorrow is open mic night. And, and it reminded me because when I was at that music thing the other day, this lady comes up, she goes, "Don't I know you?" And I was trying to think of some snarky comments, like some possible answers. "Don't I know you? God, I hope not. Don't I know you? Oh, no. Your dementia's back again. Or it's worsened. Don't I know you? I don't know. I've got a birthmark down there." Or talk about the latest orgy or something. Something really off the wall crazy. Yeah. I'm sure, Deb, you could come up with a couple of doozies. Don't I know you? Oh, sorry, I'm talked 13, almost 14 minutes already. Anyway, I wolfed on the remains of some beef and corn and a baked potato. What I have left in there to eat is a piece of pie, some broccoli salad, and some vegetable soup. That's what I have prepared in the fridge. In the freezer, I've got a little box of taquitos, which is like a little rolled up crunchy taco. They're also called flautas. But flauta means flute. So they're little skinny round something rolled up with. It's like all Mexican food's the same to me. It's got all the same spices and innards. It's just how it's presented. And Italian food's kind of like that too. It has the same tastes and the same flavors. It's just different pasta. I know that's really crude, and true blue Mexican or Italian would be offended. I don't mean any offense, but it just seems that way to me. But I'm from the Midwest. Everything is meat, potatoes, and corn. And Jell-O for dessert. That's what we had in the Midwest. Meat, potatoes, some vegetable, and Jell-O. Yeah. Tomorrow's Whoop Whoop Wednesday. I'll come up with one for you. Have not heard back from the Make a Deal people. And I don't care. Take care of yourselves. I'm sure there's something interesting going to happen. I got to find out about the next week things so that I can plan accordingly for the ticket and the hotel. I'm kind of nervous about that. This morning, I was really depressed. I was feeling bad, really bad, and I didn't need to. My guts were feeling bad because of all the blood drainage and snot drainage that I've had in the last few days. So I just felt terrible. My whole demeanor jumped off the diving board and to the deep end. I am so glad that when Brian got home with the kids that he had me come over and watch them. He saved my life. He saved my day. And then later I was telling Brian how the little guy got loose and he was on his way over to the steps. And he started climbing the steps. And Brian goes, "Oh, that's kind of my fault." Because I was teaching him then. I said, I heard about it from Ashley. Apparently, they have that camera in the kitchen. They can hear and see anything anyone does. Good thing I don't swear or talk bad or anything. She saw, and Brian goes, "Yeah, she told me she saw him going for the stairs." Nothing like, I don't think there's cameras in here. I don't think they'd want to see anything in here. Yeah. It just feels weird. It's like I'm not trusted. Well, I understand though, I'm old and a lot of stuff can happen. And I do have probably some unorthodox views towards society. Spencer kept wanting to come over here. Well, this place is, I've got the clothes racks out and this little table and all the sewing stuff. You know, when I don't have that all over the place, yeah, he can come over then, if Brian will let him. Brian doesn't want him to get so used to being at Grandma's that it's not a special deal. Well, everybody's life is different. When I was a kid, my home life was so sucky, my mom ignored me and she sat and drank and smoked and watched soap operas every time. I meant nothing to her. So I'd go down the street and hang out with my grandpa. But they wanted to be more, Brian and Ash wanted to be more of a really nice treat and to know what it's like to not be on Grandma all the time and trying to get things out of me and weasel snacks and stuff. I've become hardened about that. I don't give in like I did when it was first happening. Brian says no. He says no. Even if I had a bag of chocolate chips, I'll tell Spencer that I don't have any. And if he would happen to see something that he wanted, I'd just say, "Daddy said no." Dad's the bad guy. So, like I mentioned before, tomorrow's Whoop Whoop Wednesday. I will have a joke for you. And I love everybody out there. Everybody. And my son, I'm sure, is feeling a bunch of shit from other Canadians about being American. He has like a residency card, but he's not a full citizen. And he's been there 10 years or something. He finally got his residency card. I'm not sure what the deal is, but there might be some people that now with this shit in Washington that they're giving him a hard time. That's the same thing that happened to me when I was living overseas in Abu Dhabi. As soon as Bush started something, everybody wanted to trap me in the elevator and crush me. The day before, you smile and you wave at your neighbor, and then as soon as that was announced by Bush, everyone hated America and everyone hated Americans and they were out to get you. And Why do these guys have to fuck everything up? Why can't we live good, nice, honest, clean lives so we can go upward and onward? Elbows up.